have the money for a light bill and still get a late fee on that light bill because I didn't feel like doing a correspondence. What's up, ATC gang? Welcome back to another video. Happy New Year, y'all. We made it to 2024. I feel like last year was a year of growth for me, for my channel or whatever, but I also felt like it was a year of loss. Like, I lost friends that had sickle cell. You know, doctors said I wouldn't make it past 18. So for me, every year that I celebrate, for me, it's bigger. It goes so much farther than, you know, you may anticipate. And whether it was through disease, sickness, or just relationships breaking off that needed to be released, last year, 2023, was definitely a year of loss for me. And so now that we're in the new year, I'm reflecting on how to do things differently. And basically that's what today's video is about. So I linked up with my girl Kim from Being Kimberly to do today's collab because I wanted to get together with another creator that not only was somebody I looked up to because I enjoy, you know, her editing, I enjoy her film style, I enjoy her content, but on a deeper level, I feel like we share a connection because we both understand the ups and downs of not only parenthood, but parenthood through mental health issues, through physical ailments. So it's cool to just see how she gracefully gets it done and is not afraid to share different parts of her journey, because when I got on YouTube, you only saw the beautiful things. So that's why I started my channel, because I wanted to show both sides of, you know, what mental health could look like when you're doing it effortlessly and when you're not having a great day. So I just love watching her content and being able to see both sides of her. So y'all make sure y'all check her out. I will have her link down in the description box so you can enjoy her vlogs right along with me. Because for various reasons, you know, everybody doesn't like the word resolutions, but I know that's the word that some people know and go to in their mind. For me, I'm not a resolutions girl. I don't need a new year to start on a new goal. But I do get it for those that do. Some people feel like, all right, it's a new month, it's a new week, it's a new year, I'm gonna do things differently. Whereas me, I like to set goals at various points, no matter what month, what day, what week or year it is. But because it's a new year, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to y'all about my goals for 2024. I broke it down into about 5 different categories. And one thing I'm noticing about myself that I think will help me with my goals is that as I get older, the things that I used to look at others and say, okay, I would never do that, I could never do that, I don't see the point of it, now I'm trying to do. So for example, I have my iPad and I actually went in my notes and took notes about the goals, the things I wanted to speak about today. And I know other YouTubers, like when they're telling you how they plan, like they plan their videos, they plan like a whole, what is it called? Not speech, but the text part, the audio, they plan out what they're gonna say. They plan their script. And I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. When I turn on the camera, I go off the cuff. But I do see that some things work and they work for a reason. So I'm adaptable, and me writing things down is helping me to reach those goals. So let's go ahead and get to the first one. So my first goal for the new year would be to work on my correspondence. For me, if it's something like, I hate to say this, but you know, I'm being honest, I could have the money for a light bill and still get a late fee on that light bill because I didn't feel like doing a correspondence. I didn't feel like calling. I didn't feel like sitting on hold. I didn't feel like, you know, going back and forth with the person. All of the correspondence of sitting to write, text, email, have phone conversations, the follow-up, I'm just not good with those things. I know how to, obviously, but it's just not something I enjoy doing. So for me, I know I need to work on my correspondence. So as far as like business wise, I want to set a goal for myself for when I'm building websites or making treats or just, you know, stuff for my content creation, that I'm responding back to people within 72 hours. Because personally, I realized last year, somebody could text me and I see your text. I saw your email, I may go ahead and work on it and get it done, but I'm not the best at responding immediately. And sometimes I found myself responding to an email a week later. That's terrible. But there is no but. That's terrible. Now, am I taking that long to do the work? No. I'm going to update your website rather quickly as long as you give me the information that I need. If I'm doing, you know, treats or something, obviously when you order treats, you need them immediately. So that stuff is going out next day. But the actual correspondence of it all, the communication, I don't want to sit on the phone with somebody for, you know, more than 10 minutes, to be honest with you. That's why I prefer text. You know, ask me what it is you need help with, and I can go ahead and respond quickly. But I know that in business, I can't be like that, because you can't just know how to build a website. You can't just know how to decorate. You can't just know how to bake or clean or whatever it is that you're doing. That's just, the skill is one part of it. The other part of it that's huge is the customer service. So that's my goal, is to respond within 72 hours. Also, along the lines of correspondence, I would say is checking on my family and friends. And my aunt was saying I should literally go in my calendar and block out time where it's like, all right, call, you know, grandma or whoever at this time, so that it leaves the thought of doing it leaves my mind and it actually comes to fruition. So that's one thing I'm going to work on, because I was having some issues, and I'm still having issues with my sister, where she's like, oh, our relationship is one-sided, you don't reach out to me. And I'm like, that's the thing. One of the things that ties all of my issues together, my goals I'm lacking, is because of my disability. Sickle cell is a cycle. So you go from being in pain for a couple hours to a couple weeks, and then you have to recover. And on that recovery time, and on the time I'm in pain, I don't have the energy to hold a conversation. I don't have the energy to play video games with my kids. I don't have the energy to hold a cup. I'm physically and mentally weak. So after you go from being in pain, then you try to do the recovery part, and then you're trying to go back to taking care of your family. So because I have children and I'm the only person that cooks and cleans, I don't get time to rest. So my recovery time after the sickness, after the hospitalization, really isn't recovery. And then I'm going into a depression, and then it starts all over. So I just don't have a lot of free time to sit around on the phone, because I don't have the time. And mentally, I'm not there. Like mentally, I'm talking myself off of a ledge on a monthly basis, because the thing about sickle cell is, yes, it's pain, yes, it's organ damage, but a lot of it is mental. Because think about the worst pain you ever had before, right? Imagine if that pain you knew was never going away. Imagine if you had to deal with that pain and still get up and cook, clean, take care of your kids, you know, raise a family, do homework, go out and work, and you never got a reprieve. My sister doesn't have, you know, those types of illnesses or children. So those extra responsibilities, when she come home from work, she get to, you know, there's no kids, there's nobody that you have to get up and do anything for. So I think the disconnect is that she's not understanding that. But the point is, the one thing that for all 5 of my goals, a big part of why I have those goals and why I want to work harder at those goals is because sickle cell, my disability, plays an impact on those goals. So because of my mental health not being where it needs to be, that affects my correspondence, that affects my level of patience. So moving on to goal, the first one was like correspondence. So I want to respond to all emails, you know, business and personal, family, within 72 hours, and check on my friends and family probably weekly or monthly. I'm gonna have to make a calendar. And then social media, still correspondence. What I want to do with my channel is I used to look at other YouTubers and I'm like, oh my God, they have a recording schedule. You doing too much. I never needed to write it down because I always have ideas in my head. But I feel like, at least for when I want to go live, I'm going to come up with a calendar so that you guys know when I'm going live, and you know when you can count on me to see me. Because for me, and the way my life is set up, going live is a lot easier. It's stress-free because it's less editing, and it's just easier for me to get my content out that way. So for social media, I want to organize my channel more for the 2024 year going forward. And the fourth thing on my list would be cleaning. Like, I want to be the person, be the girl that wakes up and makes her bed up every day, regardless. But again, because I'm paying a lot, because I'm home all the time, when do I get a chance to make my bed up if I'm always in it? But even if it means I'm making my bed up because that's the person I want to be, that's the goal and the trait I want to naturally have. If I'm just making my bed up because I'm going to the grocery store that day and that's the only place I go, or I'm going downstairs to play with my babies or to teach them, reading or whatever, my bed is made up. So that's one of my cleaning goals, is to become the person that makes their bed up daily. I also want to make sure when I'm going to bed at night, there are no dishes in the sink. I want to make sure I'm keeping my downstairs bathroom clean, because I'm a person, like I said, I'll ghost and you don't hear from me for days. So I tell my friends and family, pop up, because you literally could be saving my life. But it's crazy because whether they're popping up or whether it's planned, every time somebody comes to your house, they always gotta use the bathroom. You didn't pee on your way over here? You don't have a bathroom at your house? It's like, why you always gotta use the bathroom at my house? So one of my goals, even though we clean the bathroom every Sunday, is to make sure, even if it means it's twice a week, that I am making sure that that downstairs bathroom is always A1. And I know these may seem small or like remedial, like duh, you don't make your bed or wash your dishes every day. I don't, because I can't even describe to you. That's a whole other video. Because I don't get enough oxygen to my organs, by the time the end of the day comes, after I make dinner, I'm exhausted. Like, I don't have the same amount of energy as everyone else because my blood levels are so low. So it's to the point where in the middle of the day, I crash. Like, I fall asleep and take a 2 to 3 hour nap, and it's uncontrollable, kind of like a narcoleptic, because my energy levels are so low. So at the end of the day, I don't have the energy to always make sure, my kitchen is spotless. So I at least want to try to ensure, whether it's me or through my son, we don't go to bed with dishes in the sink. I want to work on my parenting for the new year. One thing I do is a report card with my kids, right? So tell me at the end of the month, how did mommy do? Did I do anything that hurt your feelings? What is it that I did good on this month? Because I believe in checks and balances. Just because I'm the adult doesn't mean I'm not messing up. It doesn't mean I'm not scarring you as a kid. Just because the way I was raised may not be what doesn't mean it was correct. So I check in, especially with my older son, to see what can I do differently. And so one thing that I know that always is something I need to improve on is having my patience, and my patience with communication. So when I'm upset or I'm frustrated or I'm explaining something, to not yell at him or demean him, because my son is very sensitive, but he's also very intelligent. And I know Kaden told me before, like, he was scared to tell me certain things and he's in tears because he don't want to get in trouble. I want my kids, I don't care what it is. If you need me, come talk to me, and part of that is on me, is on the parent. If you're not a person that's approachable and they feel like they're gonna get yelled at or in trouble, they'll keep the things from you. So that's very important to me, is to work on the patience and the calmness with the way I speak to my children. I want to be able to take them on outings once a month. And again, because of sickle cell, I'm tired, but I want to be able to, I know I give them a good life, but I want to make a goal so that at least once a month, okay, we went to the museum this month. There are so many things in the DC area that we haven't seen, and we live here. And I feel like if I can, when I can, we got to start knocking some of those things out. And when it comes to my younger son, the baby, I really need to have him in bed by 9 p.m. Like, he's sometimes up midnight, 1 a.m. because if I'm editing or cleaning or whatever is going on, his dad is, working, who's putting him to bed? So he's up. And I just want to be able to know that I can get my baby on a realistic schedule. And then the last thing I want to work on is my relationship with my boyfriend. I want to be able to hang out with him more. I want to also, most importantly, be able to communicate with him, because he told me, like, you're combative. When you speak, again, that's largely due to my lack of patience and the way, you know, my upbringing. I'm very loving. I'll give you the world, but I'm not the traditional soft female. And so sometimes, again, communicating with me, like, get to the point. What you know, I need to learn to soften up. But one thing that's a bonus that I didn't talk about, that's probably most important, is I definitely want to enter my soft girl era. I want to take the time to not necessarily put on makeup, because I don't do makeup, but I want to make sure that I'm keeping my hair retwisted. I want to be able to know that at least once a week I did my facial steaming, you know, just basic things that I kind of take for granted and don't have the mental capacity to do, because I'm like, well, I'm at home and who's going to see me? But at the end of the day, my kids see me. You know, my boyfriend sees me, and who wants to see somebody looking crazy? They get, yeah, my mom, my girlfriend's disabled, but they still want to see me looking, you know, decent. And just for myself, for my confidence, because I feel like it's important for me to have my head held high so that I can instill those same things in my son. I can't tell him, you know, you're worth it, you're a king, you're the prize, you're handsome, your locks are beautiful, if I don't keep my hair together. If I'm, you know, I have to be the example for my children. So those are my goals for the new year, and I guess that was 6 of them. Comment down below, let me know what are your goals and what is it that you feel you need to work on, if you feel like it's not too private, and you know, maybe we can work on some of those things together and be each other's accountability partners. All right, you guys, I done spoke to you guys for 17 minutes. Together, we are going to erase the stigma surrounding sickle cell anemia. I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to check out my girl's video. I'll have it linked in the description box. All right, you guys, it's been real, and be blessed. Until next time, bye.